Hello, ghosts, ghouls, and non-boonaries. It's check out this guy, actually, this time, but it is spooky season, and we're going to talk about some spooky guys. Ooh! I am one of the hosts, Morg. I use they, he pronouns, and I am here to suck your blood again.
You're drinking a lot of blood.
I know, I'm very thirsty.
I feel like I need to remind you that that is actually not good for human consumption. Hello, my name's Elvire, and I use the pronouns they, he, she.
Well, hello, you two. I guess I'm the guest today. I guess I'm the guest?
You guess
you're
the guest?
You guessed correctly.
I just appeared here.
Yes, our guest is here, and
I'm here, and I'm Malus Draco, aka Malus. I use they them pronouns. And I'm here to talk about the guys who suck your blood. Or maybe other things.
Oh.
And that's not a euphemism.
Off to a great start.
Yeah. Well, it could be a euphemism. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what these vampires are into. I spoiled it. Delete what I just said. I guess I spoiled it with my intro anyway, but tell us about your what are you here to talk about?
I'm
Malus?
here to talk about some vampires and how I guess it's hard to call them vampires because naturally having a bunch of different kinds of guys makes me want to kind of put them all together into one thing. So there's a bunch of creatures who you would not probably necessarily call vampires, but they are vampires in this case.
Vampires and vampire accessories.
Exactly. But they're all vampires. I guess the question is, where should I start? Should I explain what a vampire is in this context, or are we gonna go straight out to the guys?
Yeah, let's start with that so we can get like a better picture of this guy that you want to bring to us.
What jokes I should try and bring to the table.
Gotcha. So, in this universe, it's pretty much exactly like, it's basically modern. You know, not nobody really knows about magic, or, you know, there aren't like crazy beasts flying around and that's normal. It's like regular day.
Yeah. Kind of an urban fantasy. They're hidden below the surface situation.
Yeah, except that it's been going on for a while, since kind of like the dawn of human civilization.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so the kind of idea behind this is if you mixed Jungian collective unconscious with Shinsekai Yori, which is kind of, it's a little bit of a spoiler for the anime, but if you know, you know.
I didn't catch the name, I'm sorry.
Shinsekai Yori.
Oh, okay.
It's I think it's to the new world, or from the new world. There's some interesting stuff that happens in the anime, but also with a little bit of the Magnus Archive sprinkled in.
Ooh.
Oh hell yeah! That's the only one of the.
I know.
I know Young a little bit, just like
I don't know much of Young.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, the Magnus Archives, that's the one I know.
I know him. But yeah, so the idea is that there is a pseudo-plane on top of ours that is where it initially started out, and like this is in my brain, it started out as a place where things go when you forget them.
Ooh.
So, like, things can go there, like, you lost your watch. It's there now. When you find it, it disappears. And then it kind of melded into, like, a world, or not really a world, kind of zone, we'll say, that all of human cognition kind of points to.
Ooh. Okay, human... Like, does that include, like, dreams and stuff, or is it just, like, general cognition? Or you haven't thought that? I mean...
So it is dreams a little bit. It's... Actually, no, it is dreams, it's fears, it's, thoughts and feelings and stuff like that.
Okay, very undertow.
And, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, like...
different. For
yeah,
sure.
but different. It's
your own thing.
The Hopes and Dreams song plays. And this kind of area, it's called ephemera.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and if you people can't typically go there. There are a couple of characters within the world who do go there, but they're not relevant to vampires at all.
Oh, cool.
Because I was a child raised on Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle.
Okay, yeah, I've heard it. I'm semi-familiar. I haven't seen that much of it, but yeah, okay.
It is, for those who don't know, the ultimate crossover series.
Yes,
where the characters just go wherever. They go to every other universe. So, everything exists at the same time, and that's all.
Is that a clamp? Is that
it
a
is.
clamp? Okay, I thought so.
It's, I liked it a lot when I read it. I don't know that I would watch it again and like it again.
Right.
But it's definitely one of those nostalgia things.
Sure, for sure.
A common feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, does this hold up? We don't know.
Some of them do.
And we will not find out.
And we will not find out. Exactly.
So true.
Let's see, where was I? Okay, so ephemera is... Initially, it was just like a place where things went, and then it became this kind of cognitive landscape for humans. So back when humans were kind of first distinguishing themselves as a species, ephemera didn't exist. It kind of existed in the earth, in the same kind of area.
Yeah. Did animals not have connection? It's a human-made thing.
It is a human-made thing, but the jury's still out on whether or not animals can do it too. I don't know. I don't. The animals can make up their own lore.
So true.
And it was, in its primordial state, kind of a really dangerous thing. And if you think about it, we've become so much more creative over time as to what things we fear, what things we, project emotions onto, that if that world existed today, it would be a hell of a lot more. We wouldn't survive, pretty much.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hellhole.
Yeah.
Even if there's dreams involved, there's a lot of nightmares too.
Yes, yeah. There's more on that line, but it is also not related to vampires because again, it's the ultimate crossover of Ultimate Destiny.
We gotta have you back to talk about these non-vampire parts of ephemera.
Yeah, it's my baby. It's my baby since high school, pretty much.
We gotta have a part 2, at least.
Yeah. So these different, I think my lore is a little bit fuzzy on this area. I haven't really scoped it out yet, but there was a thing that happened and humanity forgot about ephemera.
Oh, okay.
And it basically, with the idea that belief, specifically human belief, can physically impact the world around them, that was way too dangerous, and that these entities, think of it like the Magnus Archives kind of entities, that were born from the different, fear of being eaten, fear of losing your mind, fear of killing your fellow man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, is there animal? Because, like, they're, like, afraid of being hunted and stuff. But yeah, no, like, that totally makes sense.
That these entities were given kind of the ability to sapience. They were the ability to think, the ability to kind of make decisions. Mm-hmm. And there was one big bad, and they all teamed up to seal all of them away, because ephemera and the ability to use your belief as a sort of magic system, which, spoilers for, part 2 of whatever this is way too dangerous for nascent humans. So,
sure.
This cataclysm happened, and the world forgot about ephemera and their ability to believe things into existence.
Do you have an idea of, like, who sealed the big bad away?
It was the other kind of...
Oh, the entities.
I believe they call them scions? I have a whole, like, world in Toy House for this.
I wasn't Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, no, they're not scions. They're just the, Oh, I forgot that was the name that I made for that one.
Ooh.
You will see. So these entities are basically trapped back into ephemera. They sealed themselves away.
Okay.
But naturally, they can't... It's not really something that stays over time. And, I wasn't initially going to talk about this character, but I think he might be a good first character to talk about, which is... His name is Homer. Mm-hmm. And he is the first vampire under Dracula.
Ooh, okay.
And Dracula specifically is more of a kind of flesh-based entity. This is mostly... Dracula is... Yeah?
An amazing name. Flesh-based entity.
Yeah. Very, fleshy, eating blood, pretty much that.
Mm-hmm. He's not human.
What you would expect from a vampire. Yeah, not
humanoid.
Dracula. Yeah, it's not. It's an entity, not like a person.
Okay.
And Dracula essentially was in this character, in Homer's time of great desperation, was able to reach out and make contact with Dracula. Not that it was intentional.
Ooh, okay.
And became Dracula's first vampire, and also, within recorded history, the first vampire. And Homer is, in fact, a Neanderthal.
Oh.
Ooh.
He is the single extant Neanderthal in modern times. And his whole thing is that he's been around the block. He's existed for, like, millions of years. He knows every single language and doesn't talk to anybody because he hates them.
That is so valid.
He creates kind of a vampire pigeon so that, like, people from different eras can talk to each other.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I have on his page that he is an omniglot. He just knows everything.
It's funny that he doesn't talk to anyone, but he still made a language in order to communicate.
Yeah, well, somebody's gotta, because he becomes the voice of Dracula because he still exists in the real world, and, Dracula's all the way over in ephemera.
Right.
And he kind of has a lot of the typical vampire powers. He eats, drinks blood, kind of eats flesh. He has the ability to, I believe he has the ability to transform into animals, like a dog or a bird.
Cool.
But it's all these, like, really old ones. He's very much an old man, a cantankerous old man.
Well, old as in like age-wise, or old as in some of these might be extinct?
Yes, both.
Okay, yes, okay, cool.
Yeah, so, and basically, you know, he kind of has to get around, he has to interact with people at some point. So he created this language to, you know, so that he doesn't have to speak English. He hates English and he hates French.
So
Oh
valid.
my god, super valid.
He's like, don't talk to me in English. Don't talk to me in English, or I'll call you all these sorts of bad words that I know that I have accumulated over the years. And I don't know, I'm not sure if he's going to be the one that is turning other people into vampires, or if he is, kind of just Dracula's first step back into the natural world. But he's around. He's been around the block. And I think maybe this point is where I can more accurately define what a vampire is. So a vampire is not necessarily somebody who drinks blood. You can drink blood, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a vampire.
You can just casually drink some blood. No judgment.
Some people are into that. I don't know.
Yeah, there are modern day real life people
who drink the blood. Yeah,
who drink other people's blood, and like, you know, good for them. Have fun. So the idea is that a vampire is somebody who has made a contract with one of these beings.
With the devil.
Yeah, that are typically living in ephemera, though some of them live on Earth.
Oh, so it's not just ones that make contracts with Dracula.
Yes, it's cool. It is correct. It is not.
But Dracula would be one of the ones that would make you okay.
Yeah, Dracula is one of the entities. There is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 other entities that I have right now, but that's going to be like actually 4 other entities. But that's going to be kind of a, you know, I'll make them when I start thinking that they're interesting. Case in point, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a dragon entity?
So true.
Then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. There's a dragon entity. It is the kind of harbinger of storms. And so all of the vampires that are associated with that one, they drink like storm energy. I would probably also say like chaos. But you know, the main one who I have in there, her name is Theophania. She is a so she is one of the more I mean, I guess she isn't one of the more prominent vampires of this. I've just like commissioned a lot of art of her and draw her a lot because I love her. And these vampires who are contracted with the dragon Galeth, that's his name, they can have, you know, abnormally long lifespans, but they typically, and this is true of all vampires, is they typically need to concentrate on kind of one thing. Because another, like, huge part of the, you know, meta lore here is that humans might want to live forever, but they couldn't handle living forever. We're not supposed to. And so, you know, usually what gets vampires is they kind of get off track, they lose themselves, and then they become a danger and people kill them.
How would a storm one, like, lose itself, I guess? Like, lose themselves?
So...
Has that happened, I guess?
That happened? Yes, there is. There's another one who was really kind of one of the... Thank you. I love her too.
She is amazing. Love the design.
This is affectionately named Storm Mom.
Oh.
So there is another vampire who is under Galeth, his name is Vesalius. I'm gonna link him here, and hopefully you can. Oh no, he's also. Just me a second. But he is canonically deceased because he becomes so obsessed with becoming the most powerful, the most somebody who nobody can like touch.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes mad and somebody takes him out. And the way that Tiff has kind of gotten around that is that she is completely dedicated her afterlife to finding ways of recreating life, like finding where life is and what a soul is and how you can bind things together to make a soul. She hasn't gotten there yet. She hasn't figured it out, but she does make a lot of creatures.
Ooh.
And she's very much she's a lovely person to be around, but she has very questionable morals.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
She's allowed.
She is very long-lived, so
yeah,
that happens when you're like that. She's very she's elfin. Like she has like her ears and stuff are very like elf-like and stuff.
Yeah. I think that was also because I think I designed her before I designed the dragon guy. And I was like, fuck it, I want her to have wings. How do I justify her having wings? So she has wings and big elf ears, because of the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's Galeth and Tiff. She was one of the ones who I was thinking about bringing out today. I have like a trio of girl bosses and girl boss legs.
Hell
I would consider Tiff to be a girl boss like simply because what she does mainly is she has a flying castle because that's cool. And she's a storm chaser pretty much. She just kind of follows the storms and does her little science and her giant flying castle. She doesn't really go out to like maim and injure people. But, you know, if you're lucky, you might be able to visit her and, you know, get her opinions.
Aww, I like her. I like that she's like kind of maybe not benevolent, but like she's like, I don't know, an anti-hero type vampire or something.
An anti-hero, except it's spelled like auntie.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, she's very. I like that you designed her first and the dragon second. That's fun to me. Is the dragon purple also, or is she just like that because she's cool?
She's like that because she's cool, and also I think it's a like I justify her being purple because she's originally, I believe, ancient Sumerian.
Oh, okay.
She's been around for like longer than most.
Yeah.
So time has kind of, you know, changed the way she looks. And also, you know, when you're basically drinking plasma every day, shit happens.
A lot of food now. A lot of storms now, so a lot of food for her.
Yeah.
These days.
She's living on it. She's living on Cloud 9, literally.
Amazing.
And if you would like to see the dragon guy, I can...
Yeah.
Let me just copy this image and put it in there.
The assumption that I'm not already just going all over your house.
Yeah, Elvir, who has an account, is just looking everywhere.
I followed you. I'm just all over this.
Hell yeah, I will follow you back.
My 3 images that I once uploaded and then I forgot about this account. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
This dragon is sick. It's like dark.
Wings are amazing.
So they're based off of a have you ever do you know what a gurnard is?
Do not, but I can Google.
Yes, it's a fish, also called a sea robin.
Does look like fish fins a bit.
Yeah. So they have these really big fins, and they actually have these little things that you learn when you're talking about your OCs. They have these little modified fins that they use as little legs. They're great creatures. I used to catch them when I lived within close proximity to like the ocean.
Yeah,
they're cool creatures.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, like they have the fin wings, and then like their tail is like made of storm clouds, and they're just really sick. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I would go through several emotions if I saw this in real life.
Would you make a contract with him?
Definitely. Maybe. I'm so susceptible. The word came out very difficult, but I see someone.
I am not immune to dragon.
I am not immune to dragon, not at all. I'm the opposite.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I probably would too. Or like one of the entities, I'm sure could. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple to choose from.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got options.
I'm weak-willed. I'm weak-willed.
I'm weak-willed to monsters. I'm sorry.
Monsters.
To experience girl bossism, like, it's hard not to want to do that, you know?
Yeah. So right, so I would say, in terms of the entities, Galeth is kind of he's the least picky about, like, what you do with your powers, but he's kind of picky about who he chooses. I have to read what I've written here.
Is it like a contract, like a warlock contract almost?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that, like, that is part of the inspiration soup here. Yeah, because that is basically a warlock contract.
I'm a big fan of, like, I don't play a lot of D&D now, but man, I miss it because I want to play a warlock.
The really fun thing about warlocks is that you can, boink your patrons sometimes.
Yup. I've played a warlock once, and she was a lesbian, and the fucking patron was not a woman.
Oh no! My condolences.
I know. So sad.
Rip.
It was my choice. It was up to me, and I was like, damn, I should have made it. Should have made them boinkable.
I've been trying to play a warlock for so long, and I have not found a campaign to put a warlock in.
Oh no!
You gotta write your own, like, Malus.
I don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. Is that you have to...
No, not as a DM.
Oh yeah, but I am working on my own little warlock, separate from D&D. Correct? Yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
hell yeah. So Galeth is he's picky, but in more of a, like, the people that you pick to hang out around kind of way. Yeah. Not necessarily in a, is this person going to do, like, good things with the power that I give them? Which is where Dracula is kind of at. They will... I just realized what it is exactly. That Dracula is pretty much doing an interview process.
Fuck.
So, the way that it happens is, like, kind of you do a ritual. An existing vampire, asks you, "Hey, are you ready for this?" And then they do a ritual where you die, and then you go specifically to Dracula's dimension, and she, checks you out, she scopes you out, and I would say that she probably says yes most of the time, and gives them their vampire abilities. But probably not all the time. If she thinks that somebody's going to be, like, super power hungry and disrupt the balance and cause problems for others of hers, she would probably say no and just let them die.
Rip.
So tragic. So you gotta do a job interview with Dracula before.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Historically speaking, I don't do well in job interviews. They just bring out the worst of me. So unfortunately, I would not be able to become a vampire like Dracula.
She just, like, brings you to a desk and is like, so, do you have any prior experience with, being, a violent person who wants to destroy the world?
Oh, no? I'd say yes.
Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That means she wouldn't take you.
Oh, the worst.
She doesn't want you to destroy the world. She just wants you to do some fucky stuff.
Yeah.
But
so,
I'd get a second chance on the Galeth. I could try to become a vampire there. Yeah. There's options in your world if it happens.
Yes, yeah. There you've got options. There's two more that I haven't gone through yet.
You said Dracula's kind of like meaty and weird looking. Like, is she like? I'm just imagining. I don't know what I'm imagining, but this like weird thing at like a desk, like this weird like fleshy creature like giving you a job. It's very funny.
So that's, you know what, that's not in what I have written so far, but I feel like it should be. I feel like I should make it that way. I do have a single thing that I have drawn of Dracula.
Looks to be mostly bones.
Yeah, so she's made of, like, first off, she's
very dark.
She doesn't really have a face. Her face is sometimes your face, sometimes faces of the other vampires that she's kind of got under her wing.
Amazing.
Ooh. She kind of represents herself as like a jet black tower of obsidian that you can't really comprehend her very well.
Yeah, she's hard to make out in like a cool way. Like, there is definitely like some necromancy vibes, you know?
Yeah. Let me see if I can. One of my long-standing projects that I will probably never finish is like a handbook, a hand guide for vampires.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. If I ever get to it, if I ever finish it, I will absolutely share it with y'all. I'm not gonna find it, but I did draw something that's like, it's like crystals, darkness, and flesh
is what she's like associated with.
Yeah,
kind of like how I keep forgetting your dragon's name.
Galeth.
Galeth is associated with like storm and chaos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
So she's a little bit more picky. We also have, let's see, I have to go back to my Toy House page that has all the guys in it. There we go. Okay. So we also have the Thought. Which is not THOT.
Yeah, I was good. I was like, I assume you mean like thinking thought and not like that over there. That is how I spell thought a lot of times if I'm typing, though. So I mean,
yeah.
UTH
so
is pointless.
The Thought is kind of based off of the idea of an intrusive thought that will never go away.
Oh, that'll never go away. Spooky. Oh no.
So the way that somebody is initiated into the Thought is that somebody just whispers a word or phrase into their ear, and they have no control. They become part of this big hive mind of all of the other creatures that are in the Thought.
Oh.
And it's basically like a bunch of different computers linked together into a big, like, single computer bank. So you're inducted into the Thought, and then you kind of revert back to basic animal instincts. These are the werewolves, by the way.
Oh.
Basic animal instincts, you turn into an animal, and when you need to act as a person, it kind of, you use the knowledge and the resources of the other creatures that are within the thought. And it makes these individuals very, very dangerous because they have the collective knowledge of a bunch of really bloodthirsty people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are not, like, intentionally, they never wanted to be part of that, but they, kind of are. And, and a lot of people use it to kind of get more power and tap into this kind of unrestrained way of being,
Yeah, is this less of a contract than the other ones then? Because it's more like involuntary. And I mean, it sounds like some people do want to join it though, but is this a want to or a have to join kind of thing?
I think it could be, it's kind of a both.
Okay.
In that, like inducting somebody into your band of thieves, you kind of want to, like, you're going to share headspace with this person. You kind of want to be a little bit selective about who, but there's probably a certain amount of, like, we want what this person has, like, for combat ability, or, I mean, you could even say if you wanted to have information from some sort of higher level organization, you then induct that person.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I don't know that they're coordinated enough to do that. It's an entity in the sense that there is like a chaos entity, essentially. Like it doesn't have a will, but it's like a collective will. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, the will of the masses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, like, a singular... Is I don't know if you would even know this, but, like, was the thought, like, around before it had people to connect to, I guess? Because it sounds...
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I would say that none of the entities existed with, like, on their own.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense too, actually, especially with, like, some of the Magnus Archives, like, inspiration. I guess I was more wondering, like, do you have, like, a picture of a representative of the thought, like you would for Dracula, like you would for...
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would be hard to. That's the only reason I, like, was curious if it was even possible to do.
This one went through a couple names. It's like the thought, the maddening word, the pack.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like basic animal instincts. You have very little, like, it's like a relinquishment of control. And a lot of these, actually all of the entities, I keep calling them entities, I think that's the Magnus Archives thing, but all the guys...
We can steal a little. It's fine.
We can steal a little bit.
It's such, like, a good word for, like, something that's kind of big and unknowable. Like... Mm-hmm.
They didn't come up with this word. It already existed.
Right. Mm-hmm. You can have, like, lowercase e entity instead of capital E entity, maybe.
Yeah. I forget what I think I technically call them, like, vampire, patrons? Yeah, patrons. That's what I'm... So it's like, like a warlock patron.
Yeah.
Which isn't much better.
No, but it's cool, and it sounds more mystical. Like, I get it.
Yeah. Oh god, where was I going? I had somewhere to go.
Oh no.
I had somewhere, I lost myself in the thought, in the pack. Oh, right, okay. So all of these patrons, a lot of this lore was kind of developed when I was very depressed.
Sure.
So I found myself ascribing kind of different aberrant thought patterns to the different entities or patrons.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought specifically was about, intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Galeth, at least I say on his page that vampires under Galeth are prone to harsh, destabilizing mood swings that many attribute to an uncontrollable surge in energy.
Mania.
Yeah, mania. So Galeth has more to do with mania.
What's Dracula?
Dracula is... Unfortunately, I don't quite remember where I left Dracula, but is probably something along the lines of, like, the fear or knowledge of or pursuit of death.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then one of my favorites, which I have not mentioned so far, is named the Metamorphosis.
Ooh.
Which is the thought of losing yourself. Losing yourself by trading pieces of you out for other pieces.
Ooh, that's sick. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the one that I wanted to talk about today, which was the one who I've been thinking about, her name is Stella. Stella! She is she's a supermodel. She's an actress. She's basically, your Hollywood star. And she's gotten this way because the ability of the Metamorphosis is to take things from other people. Sometimes that's memories. Sometimes that's physical attributes. So the way that I've made her is the idea of, like, the perfect Hollywood body. Ooh. This is if you could get a Hollywood executive and make a character creator, or get a Hollywood executive to use a character creator to make their ideal woman, this is what it would be. And that she's got, like, super thin waist, huge breasts, large booty. Like, her anatomy makes no sense for that reason. And also in the idea that, like, what we desire and what is kind of horrific to us is very, like, the uncanny valley, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she has gone through years, through many different names, through many different, like, personalities, to having taken the best attributes from all of the people who she is, consorted with, and made herself the kind of prototypical Hollywood starlet.
Jeez.
She reminds me a bit of those Darren Shan books. He had a Demonata series, and it was one of the scariest things I've ever read. And for some reason, she feels like she could be in that plot and be... Because some of the monsters were really gory, the way they were described. And I don't know. I feel like she could fit in in what is in my memory the grossest story I've ever read. Body horror.
Fuck yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Because another part of this character is that, and I don't know what came over me. I don't know why I was like, this is a great combination.
It happens.
But when I was initially creating this character, I watched a video of a spider shedding its skin. Or shedding its exoskeleton. And I was like, that's fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And it looks so painful. And it's such a slow, like, laborious process. And if you really think about it, getting stuck during shed is one of the things that kills, I want to say arthropods, but anything that has an exoskeleton.
Yeah, it can hurt like other things that shed too. Like it can even like hurt snakes and stuff. But like yeah, it can be a big problem, especially for arthropods and stuff.
Yeah, and like it's such a slow process because they don't have any bones. They have to like inch their body out of there, and I'm like, that's horrifying.
Ew.
What if you were human and had to do that?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, one of the, like, she is the one who is probably the most, like, stereotypically pretty characters that I have, but she's also the one that is objectively the grossest, because she literally has to shed her skin, when she wants to change her appearance. Though also I think it's like I think I'm gonna do it like a period metaphor where, like, you know, the moon aligns and then she's gotta, you know, crawl out of her skin. That's, you know, in a very laborious process, and it takes hours.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna post this in the guest chat after the episode, but I once wrote a poem about this, about the whole idea of, like, ripping out of your own skin.
Fuck yes!
I think you might like it. It's super short, but I'll post it after.
Wow. Hell yeah.
Maybe that's just a trans thing, because I've definitely done something like that.
Yeah. Also, Morg, I think you can, I did enable the thing, so if you want to see her, you can.
I was like, I don't want to interrupt you, because...
No, you're good. Yeah, there's of the 10 images that I have of her, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them have warnings on them.
Mm-hmm.
And most of that is because, like, there's a lot of art of her, like, pulling her skin off.
I like this casual one of, like, her, like, there's just, like, a mandible there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm just like that. This is normal for me, actually.
Well, you know, I mean, people gotta know what they're getting into.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah. There's, like, most of the artwork that I have of her is also not safe for work, so I'm not gonna just post that straight into the guest chat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some naked ones, but...
There's a lot of naked. There's a lot of naked on this page.
It makes sense since her, like, fucking, like, whole thing is bodies, though, like...
Yeah. The shedding of skin, like, you know, plastic surgery, and the idea that, you know, you can kind of build yourself again at any point. But another part of this lore is that vampires within the metamorphosis, they will kill each other on sight if they know.
Oh.
I don't know why I add that, but I'm like, you know what? Wouldn't that be cool? What if she was like, you know, if she figured out that you were one of them, that she just tried to kill you immediately? Kind of like spiders?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, even spiders that, like, the whole, like, mating thing with spiders and stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But, that's cool, because, like, all the other ones, it sounds like they're kind of either neutral towards other vampires or, like, are connected or in some way.
Sharing a brain space?
Yeah. Whereas, like, yeah, sharing your brain space with thought, and then it sounds like, Galeth and Dracula, like, they're not necessarily against each other in the same way.
Yeah. I would say that Dracula is kind of... There are the most vampires under Dracula.
That makes sense.
And, yeah. And she's kind of, become... Like, her big thing is is preservation.
Okay.
Whereas a lot of these other ones are not super into... That's not their motivation. That's not what they kind of want. So, in the spirit of preservation, let's work together. Let's be nice. Let's share information. Let's not put a huge target on our backs.
Right.
Because the population at large, I don't have any vampire hunter characters, but maybe I should.
It makes sense just because, like, it sounds like some of them are more obvious than others. Like, I feel like you would maybe notice if someone was a little bit more feral.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone was like, well, I'm actually very curious. Does Tiff have, like, a more human look? Does she ever, like, go out and she has to look more like a regular, like, non?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think she ever goes out. I don't think she ever has, like, a reason to go out.
I'm gonna be honest here. If I saw someone walk outside like that, I'd be like, oh wow, cool costume. And not think further than that.
I mean, yeah, me too, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably same.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it was mostly just like, I was just thinking about that because I was like, oh, it's like pretty hidden, right? But then I was like, this fucking bitch looks like that. No, that's so good though. That's great. She's just like, whatever, I don't fucking care.
Listen, if you're gonna contract with the dragon, you better be ready to never see people ever again.
Oh my God, when can I sign up?
Fuck yeah. Yeah. So another fun fact, there are 2 currently that I have in this. Sorry, Toy House is kind of
it's hard to navigate, isn't it?
Yeah. It is hard to navigate. I just want to go back to the page where I found these characters. So there is another character within this, under this patron. Her name is Mina.
Ooh, and that's fun, because that's like a Dracula lady, right?
Yeah, it is.
But she's actually under metamorphosis.
And she's a bird.
Oh my gosh, she's a bird.
Ooh. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, she's beautiful.
The reason why she's here is because I had nowhere to put her, and I'm like, I can't. I have to have her. I have to put her in here. If we don't, she's just gonna languish. And we can't have that. She's a diva. We can't have that.
You could. I mean, it sounds like you still have a lot of space for other patrons to be made too. So
yeah, there's a couple that I have in the back of my noggin that I haven't like put onto paper yet.
Yeah, but it makes sense for her to be a fucking like. It almost looks like a human face was like transposed onto a bird. Like that's very metamorphosis to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks slightly off-putting, which I think works great.
Yeah, she eats people.
Ah, great. Good for her.
Is she bird-sized or is she human-sized?
She's humans. She's a very, very big human-sized bird, like even bigger than a person.
Oh, cool.
So she like eats people, and her story is that she does not live in the same timeline in the same kind of time area as the rest of them. In that, naturally, because I have to shove everything together, there is a collapse, and the walls that are keeping ephemera from humanity breaks.
Ooh.
And the world goes to shit. It's basically like an apocalypse. And it's weird for vampires because some vampires die because they're not connected to their patron anymore. A lot of vampires have a whole lot more power now, but then also everybody else has that kind of power. But for Mina, she for a long time she was just like a regular person, but during the kind of second cataclysm, she kind of cooped herself up in an aviary.
Okay.
And she started eating the birds.
As you do.
As you do, yeah. And she lived there for long enough and kind of lost herself within the birds for long enough that she just kind of became one of them.
Do you ever just sit in a bird cage so long that you turn into a bird yourself? Isn't this a universal feeling?
Well, listen, if it's good for the birds.
True.
Yeah. And, now when she's in her kind of timeline, it's reverted into a fantasy world. So it makes sense for her to be like a harpy.
Yeah.
Because, that's harpies live in a fantasy world. There we go.
That's
done.
You kind of have two different, like, alternate universe versions of your ephemera verse.
Yeah, well, the truth is, it's the same universe. It's just
further down the timeline.
Yeah, there's like the early timeline and there's the later timeline.
Yeah.
And here's another fun fact: is that when the world has gone to shit, a lot of vampires go and take off in a spaceship.
Oh hell yeah!
Ooh, interesting.
And so the world is having an apocalypse. They take off with a bunch of humans in a spaceship and just fuck off into the cosmos.
I can't wait for the vampires to start like getting into mecha suits.
Space vampire.
Oh, your brain is huge.
I know.
Gundam
I know.
vampire.
My brain is unfortunately also very tired because we are a bit over the hour mark.
Oh no!
If you
talk too much.
No, it's been great. Like, if you wanted to...
No, it's amazing. I wish I could stay up for another hour to hear about all of this.
Oh no, you're too eepy.
Yeah.
You gotta go eat.
I do have to go eep, yeah.
I could talk about this for way too long. So sorry for going over.
No, it happens. Maybe we should have started earlier. I just didn't think about it because I was just like, I was so like enraptured by like talking about your cool vampires.
I realized it a little while ago, but I was very into Mina, so I wanted to learn about Mina.
Yeah. What are, maybe we could like wrap up there unless you wanted to like maybe get out some of the other entities or whatever you wanted to talk about just to like...
So actually, I have a question for the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is, who would you contract with?
Galef.
Well, that's...
Easy, yeah.
Of those... How many were there? 3? 4?
Yeah.
3. 4.
Yeah, you got Dracula, you got Galith, you got the Thought, or the Maddening Word, or the Pack, and Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis would be cool, though, but to constantly be aggressive is ugh.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, maybe without the aggressive part, I would maybe pick Metamorphosis. Just because, like, I'm fucking lazy. I'm too lazy to be aggressive. It's such a funny, like, thing to say. So I guess...
It sounds like it's a real commitment.
Yeah, it sure does. So I probably would also say Galeth just because, like, it's a bit more simple and, like, they never said I couldn't keep talking to people online, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, even if I have to stay far away from people, I can still podcast.
You will be podcasting from your castle up on the top of a mountain that constantly gets storms.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I would be less afraid of storms because I like them now, and that's good. Not that I'm like super, but like, you know, I don't live in a place with a lot of like big storms, so I feel like I would be a little bit more scared of like hurricanes and shit.
It would be hell to edit, Joe. Like if there's extreme storms, the sound quality of your podcast is gonna be shit.
I'll just be in the eye of the storm. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure to move into the eye of the storm during podcast time. It'll be perfectly fine.
You'll have so much time to perfect getting just into just the right place so you can podcast without worry.
Probably also if I was like this long lived, I would have the money to buy like equipment to block all the sound out anyway.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of benefits. I don't necessarily want to be immortal the way I am as a person right now, but in this like hypothetical weird fucking magic world, like it sounds like there's some benefits to being long lived, even if it's
I assume
not like
if I get to make a deal, there's some body modification that's gonna happen.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I hope so. Yeah, do I get wings?
I am not gonna go into eternity looking like a fucking human. That would suck.
Yeah. It'd be fun to be something that is not something that's more of a creature than anything else.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And it's just
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
So, I think the best places to find me are honestly co-host and Toy House. And my username there, both places, is Malus Draco. She's Malus Draco. No relation to the toy company. I'm also, trying to post stuff on YouTube. But I don't have my actual username, so it's just like a link with a bunch of numbers at the end. Which I find is kind of rude, but
we can we'll probably link it or whatever. If you link it, we can link it.
If you link it, they will come.
So true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Are we doing the outro now?
Yeah.
I was just blanking for a second on if we do our own first or
let's just do our own first since we're just starting now.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out, like, I'm changing the names of all my social media. Just click on a link in the description and it'll take you to something, hopefully.
Cool.
Find me at the link.
Yeah.
Up in the air. You can find me at Haunting the Morgue on Tumblr and Blue Sky, and you can find me at Gengar on Co-host that I should post to more, because it's probably the best website of the three that I have.
How dare you disrespect Tumblr this way?
Come on, Tumblr hasn't gotten worse, but it hasn't gotten better. It's actually gotten
It's definitely gotten worse.
It's gotten a little worse, actually.
Worse.
But like,
yeah,
it hasn't gotten as bad as a lot of other places.
True,
you know what I'm saying?
It's one of the lesser evils, but yeah, there's some actually good ones. So.
Yeah. You can also find me on my other podcasts, 4430, a ReZero Watch podcast, and The Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. You can find this podcast on Check Out This Guy on Tumblr and Co-host. You can find our Discord linked in the description, as well as I think I linked them on those websites. Please join it, because that's where you can find most of us, even if we're like, we don't know where you can find us elsewhere. We'll be there for sure.
Everybody's in the Discord.
Come party in the Discord.
It is a wild party. So much fun.
Yeah, they keep doing streams every week, 1 or 2 streams every week is that's pretty active for such a, like, cozy little Discord. You can also find us on Noisepace.xyz, where there's so many fucking podcasts. I know there's like a new Special Grade Snacks out that came out recently. I don't know what else came out. There's a lot of active ones. I listen to Doctor Who a lot because
that was fun.
They'll probably go on for the rest of their fucking lives because Doctor Who is so long.
That one's never ending.
Yeah, that's where you can find Sonic Shuffle. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the podcast because I'm almost certain that it was on Noisepace, but it was the MILF Manor Watchcast. No, I think it was called Mild Mannered. Oh no, okay,
yeah.
Redact that.
No, I mean
we're not advertising that.
We're like friends of Moonshot, though.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's okay.
Moonshot has some good shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
we're on canceling that shout out.
But it's not a noise space podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's everything, unless I forgot something, Elvir.
I think we have everything. We have the Discord, we have noisepace.xyz, we have places that you may or may not find us. All that's left to do is seal the deal with this entity and get myself a cool dragon bod.
Fuck yeah.
Make a new podcast entity.
A podcast entity?
That would be fucked up. Don't do that. That sounds fucked up.
Yeah.
Ooh. Interesting.
I will be popular on my podcast because I made a deal with the voice entity. If that turns into something, please let me know. But yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to sleep on it. I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. Yeah, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.